Hey, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a shameful one, if I'm just being honest with you all. At the beginning of 2021, I told you all this was going to be my low-buy year, and I had all of these rules I was going to follow, and I was so dead set on, only spending this amount of money every month and only buying this many palettes and no this and no that and only one of this. Like, I went very much so into detail in that video on just all of my rules that I was going to have for myself for my low buy in 2021. And I'm pretty sure I broke every single one of those rules. And at some point during the year, I was just like, screw it. What low buy? I'm just going to do me like YOLO. Well, I just feel like I owe it to you all as my subscribers and my community to kind of show you how terrible I did. So this is going to be a shame on Michelle video, and I don't need anybody in the comments telling me not to be hard on myself. This is all in good fun. You all are so kind to me when I am hard on myself. You try to remind me that, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and I do really appreciate that. But this is kind of me poking fun at myself. I did terrible this year with my low buy. Awful. However, I have to say, with me going through and looking at all of the things I purchased this year, because I did, I sat down and I went through my Ulta purchases, I went through my Sephora purchases, and then I went through my emails. Do you all know how many emails I have? I have over 30,000 some emails in my personal email, and I'm not even joking. Obviously, I didn't go through all of those. I didn't need to. I just went through the past year painstakingly and looked at all of my makeup purchases. So I wanted to do that for a number of reasons. One, I wanted to have a really accurate representation of what I actually purchased this year. And two, I don't know, I thought that I would forget something because when you're buying stuff throughout the course of the year, sometimes you forget what the hell you bought. At least I know I have. So what I did is I wrote down every single item that I bought, both from my email receipts as well as my Ulta and Sephora purchases. Now, this might not include several things, a couple things that maybe I forgot or skipped over, or there were a couple things that were sent to me like PR type things during the year. That's not going to be included in this. All of the things I'm going to share with you today are things that I purchased myself. Actually, that's a lie. There's a couple things over here that were from Merit Beauty that Merit sent over to me. Other than that, everything I purchased myself. So, is this ridiculous? 100%, absolutely. Nobody needs to purchase this much makeup or beauty products in the course of a year. And again, like I said, this was a very, very eye-opening experience for me. I guess I really didn't realize the sheer amount of things. But when you have it all laid out in front of you, it's kind of hard to deny it, right? So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you how many of each product I purchased. And then when I'm finished, we'll pan over and I'll show you all of the things that are sitting on my bed right now staring at me. And maybe we'll talk about a few things that were standout products, maybe things that I really didn't care for. I don't feel the need to talk about every single product. That would just be way too much. Plus, you all have heard my thoughts throughout the year. But this is going to be my year-end low buy shame, best products of, worst products of 2021. This is going to be all wrapped in a nice little bow for you guys. So if that sounds interesting, I hope you stick around to hear my thoughts. I am going to do a palette, well, I don't know if I want to call it palette ranking, but I'm going to do a whole separate video to the eyeshadow palettes I bought this year because I bought quite a few. And I'm thinking about maybe ranking the top 10 or top 15. So stay tuned for that in the future. Or maybe in the past. I don't know which is going to get uploaded first. Anyhow, let's get into this video. So let's just start off with numbers, basic numbers. And I don't really have a basis of comparison because I have no idea what I purchased in the year of 2020. All I have for you is what I purchased in 2021. And it's way more than I was allowing myself. So I'm just kind of keeping that in mind that I did not make my low buy rules at all. And I'm hoping, with this being such an eye-opening experience for me, that going forward, my purchasing will be a little bit more mindful. So I placed 11 Ulta orders this year in total, which I've looked at my history for my Ulta orders, and that's actually really decent. That's less than one a month. So the fact that I only placed 11 Ulta orders, pat on the back for me, right? Between those 11 orders, I bought 41 products. So not too terrible, I guess. What I think is really interesting is I used to buy more from Ulta than I did from any other like makeup retailer. But it seems like this year something like the tides shifted. Can you stop, please? Or you're not going to be allowed to be in here if you're throwing my stuff on the floor. No, no. Because I have all of my stuff laying on my bed, my cat is steadily trying to sabotage all of my stuff. So this year it just seemed like, I don't know, like the tides shifted a little bit. In prior years, I've always spent more at Ulta. I've always placed more orders with Ulta. But this year I placed 25 Sephora orders. I don't know why that is. That's a pretty high number. That's like 2 orders a month if you're breaking it down on an average. And between those 25 orders, I bought 66 products. Now, I spend more money at Sephora than I do at Ulta, so that's not a good sign for me that I'm buying more like luxury, more higher end type products. Here recently, over just the past year or so, I just don't know who the fuck I think I am. I'm just a bougie bitch because I've just been spending a lot more money than what I typically would when I'm buying more from Sephora than I am from Ulta. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. I wanted to note that. I don't know if you guys will find this interesting or not. I did, but I bought from 31 different indie brands this year. I'm going to name them off really quickly. If you all haven't purchased from some of these, if you've been interested in like tiptoeing into the indie world, there's so many different amazing indie brands out there, and I love a lot of the ones that I tried. I don't want to necessarily say that I tried them this year because some of these brands I had tried before 2021, but these are most of the indie brands I purchased from in 2021. Terra Moons, Divina, Sydney Grace, Mellow Lops, I think is how that's pronounced, Cleona, Tracy's Powder Room off of Etsy, Becky Beauty or Beshi Beauty, I don't know how you pronounce that. Touch of Glam, Juvia's Place, JD Glow, Glaminatrix, Give Me Glow, Glam Light, Midas, Glam Shop, Pastel Roses, Kaleidos, Menagerie, It's Belle Cosmetics, Shroud, Pseudo Labs, Vanity Makeup, Lethal Cosmetics, Makeup Geek, Adept. Is Makeup Geek still an indie brand? I'm not sure. Melt Cosmetics, Clarity, Propa Beauty, Beauty Creations, Moira, and LYS. So those are just some of them. I'm sure I missed probably at least a handful. I just thought it was interesting that I purchased from that many indie brands this year because when I first got really into makeup, I didn't know what the hell an indie brand was. So it just kind of shows you how much my makeup tastes have changed over time. And some of my all-time favorite makeup products are from indie brands. Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the numbers of each product that I purchased. Now, this is kind of interesting when I think of like my low-buy rules and what I really didn't want to do. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't go back through and watch that video where I made up all those rules. I had them all written down at one point, and I don't know what I did with that list. So, just off of memory alone, I'm going to comment on, whether I feel like I kind of stuck to my rules or whether I as far as budget's concerned, I blew it out of the water. That's definitely not even in question. But let's see how I did product-wise. So, in terms of primers, I purchased 5. And then I have in parentheses lots of repurchases. So I know I bought the Oil and Shine Control Primer, the Smashbox Vitamin C Glow or whatever it is. But that's mainly the primers that I purchased. I purchased a lot of the Oil and Shine Control. So I think that's where that 5 is coming from. I bought multiples. This says that I bought 9 foundations or that I acquired 9 foundations this year. And that sounds like a lot, and it is to, I'm sure, any normal person. But for me, considering that I had 70 to start with, purchasing 9 in 1 year is really not too terrible. However, in terms of my low buy, terrible. I don't think I was supposed to be purchasing any foundations, but I purchased like 9. At least 2 of those were repurchases. I repurchased the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless foundation as well as the Estee Lauder Double Wear. Those are 2 of my favorite full coverage matte foundations, and I love them, so I repurchased them. I bought 8 concealers. I like trying concealers. I like finding different formulas, especially for my old ass under eyes, and it's hard for me to find one that I really like, so I kept buying them. And then, when I show you guys what's sitting over here, I'll go over my favorites that I purchased, my not so favorites, whatever. I bought 4 powders. That's not too terrible. 4 all year long. I don't remember what my low buy rule was on that, but 4 powders for the entire year is not terrible. I bought 7 bronzers. 7's a little bit high. I had quite a few to start with, but 7 is not like an outrageous number. I purchased 3 contours. Again, not bad. I found one of my all-time favorite contours this year, and I will share that with you here in a bit. I bought 13 blushes. 13. Have you all seen my blush drawer? I didn't need one blush. I don't know what the hell I was doing buying 13 of them, but I did. That's definitely against my low buy rules. I don't think I was supposed to buy any. I bought 2 mascaras, again, against my low buy rules. I wasn't supposed to buy any mascaras, but the 2 I purchased, I really, really loved. I can't say that I regret it because I use them a lot. I bought 18 eye primers. Can I really call them primers? I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. They're not all exactly primers. Some of them are more like colored bases type of products, but 18 is still a rather large number. I bought 14 eyeliners. I like colored eyeliners. I like being able to jazz up a look. Plus, some of the products that I bought were like a set, and again, you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about, so it'll make a lot more sense then. I bought 41 eyeshadow palettes. 41. I think I was only supposed to buy like 2 a month. Isn't that what I said? Is that what I can't remember. I can't remember what my rule was, or was it 1 a month? Regardless, I know I didn't stick to my low buy rules there. Eyeshadow palettes or eyeshadows in general are my weakness. I cannot help it. So I already knew that that was going to be the biggest struggle this year. And it was. He just wants to play with all the goodies on the bed. He is eyeballing. No, I'm going to come and get you. Don't you look at me in that tone of voice, sir. He's over there throwing my shit on the floor. I hope the lighting is okay for you all. I typically have like 2 soft boxes on the other side of my ring light. And I just didn't feel like putting all of that up tonight, so I didn't. And I hope the lighting isn't all jacked because of it. Okay, next up is lipsticks. And I purchased 25 this year. 25 lipsticks. I'm not really like a big lipstick wearer outside of like my YouTube channel or just playing around, having fun with makeup. Now, I might wear some gloss or like lip balm to work, but wearing lipstick all day is just a little difficult because you have to constantly reapply it. I mean, unless you wear something matte and then you got to worry about it like wearing off all funky because you're eating and drinking stuff. Anyway, I don't know why I bought so many. The only thing that I can figure is because we don't have to wear masks all the time anymore and people are now showing their faces again, for the most part. And I got excited and bought a bunch of lipsticks. That's the only thing that I can figure. I bought at least 7 brow products, but that's probably more of a lowball number. I mean, brow products are one of those things. I wasn't buying a lot of different brow products, or I shouldn't say different. I wasn't purchasing a lot of new to me brow products. It was more so repurchases. So that's 7 is definitely a lowball number. I only bought 1 highlighter all year. Do you know how proud I am? That might be the one rule that I didn't break. 1 highlighter all year long. Like, how crazy is that? I wanted to buy the Kaleidos gifted highlighter so bad, and I had to restrain from it because it was going to cost me like $40 some with shipping, and I just could not. Not that I haven't spent that kind of money before on a highlighter, but I don't know, I'd had enough all year, I guess, and I just didn't do it, and so I'm kind of glad that I didn't. I really don't need it, but I thought that was pretty awesome that I've only purchased 1 highlighter. Like, go me. I purchased 2 face palettes. Also, pretty proud of myself for that because I don't typically use face palettes that much. So the fact that I limited myself to 2, pretty proud of myself. I bought 3 different brands of brushes. Brushes are something that I kind of have a weakness for. I like trying different brands of brushes. I always use a lot of different brushes, whether it's face brushes, eye brushes, whatever. So I'm not really mad at myself for that. I bought 3 different types of eyelashes. I don't wear eyelashes, but my daughter does. So she's the one that was benefiting from that from those purchases. As far as skincare is concerned, it says I bought 12 different skincare items. That's bullshit. That's a lowball number. I'm repurchasing when it comes to skincare because I have like a handful of staple skincare products that I use. I'll share those with you in a minute. So that's definitely a lowball number. Hair care, I put 6. Again, probably a lowball number. I bought at least 4 different perfumes and at least 8 empty palettes. 8 empty palettes is ridiculous, but I had a plan. A plan that fell through, nevertheless, but a plan. So the one thing that I bought the most of this year was single eyeshadows. Y'all, how many single eyeshadows do you think I purchased this year? I'm just curious if any of you all have like a round ballpark number of what you think I purchased. Oh, wait a second. 214. 214 single shadows. Now, these aren't just like single matte shadows from like Coastal Scents or something. I'm talking about Terra Moons, Cleona, Glam Shop, Adept. Like, I'm talking about the special, sparkly, shiny, shimmery, duochrome, multi-chrome goodness eyeshadows. That's what pretty much, besides the overspending on like eyeshadow palettes, that's what pretty much blew my budget this year, was stuff like that. Single shadows are pretty expensive, especially when you're talking about the really shifty, shiny, special ones. They're pretty pricey, or they can be pretty pricey. So those have definitely been my vice this year, my weakness. I mean, if you couldn't tell by looking at my eyeballs, I can't help it. It's something about the shiny, shifty. I love it. I am 100% infatuated with those types of shadows. And I can already tell you now, for 2022, that's going to be the one thing that gets me. If I'm able to cut back everywhere else and not there, I think I will be happy. Just because those types of shadows make me just excited. Every time I purchase them, I'm excited. I can't wait to get them, to play with them. I like using them in everyday makeup. I've been making more of a habit of doing that here lately, like going to work and wearing them. So I don't really feel too terrible about it. But I really do need to watch, and especially when it comes to buying like duplicates. Different brands will come out with certain shadows that are just full-on dupes of each other. I've got quite a few like that already in my collection of those shiny, shifty special shades. So that's really what I need to be careful of this coming year. That's a waste of money. So anyway, I think what I'm going to do now is pan over and show you the pile of goodness, and then we'll go over some thoughts on some of those things that I purchased. Okay, this is the pile of wonder. So, like I said a little bit ago, I'm not going to take the time to go through like all my palettes, just because we're going to do that in a separate video. So that's what you see right up front, is all the palettes. And there's, again, 41 of those, which is insane. It doesn't really look like 41 when you're looking at it like that, but I've got them stacked. So yeah, 41 palettes. I guess it could have been worse. But let's go ahead and pan over to this up here. So up top, you're going to see what I actually drug out. This isn't everything, but it's, you know, a lot of stuff that I would at least wanted to show you. We've got my Garnier micellar water. I use that all the time for like washing my face. You know, when I have a face full of makeup, it's good to get makeup off. This is my all-time favorite moisturizer. I repurchased this a lot of times this past year. It's the Believe True Cream Aqua Bomb. The Ceramidin Cream by Dr. Jart I actually got when Sephora had their sale. And I feel like it was also already on sale, so I got a good deal on it. The Good Molecules Cleansing Balm, the R&Co, what is this, the Moisture and Shine Cream or something? High Dive Moisture Shine Cream. I really like this as well. Can't forget my Dr. Dennis Gross Alpha Beta Peel. This thing here, let me tell you what. If you struggle with fine lines and wrinkles and texture and all that kind of stuff, pores, this Alpha Beta Peel is the shit. I use it almost every day. I love it. I swear by it. Will not be without that. Same thing with my Moroccan oil treatment for my hair. Will not be without that. It makes my hair so shiny and smooth. Cinema Secrets brush cleaner is awesome. Again, I don't want to go over every single product, but let's just talk about... Can we do like standout products first? Let's do that, and then maybe we'll talk about some not so standout products. Okay, so just because it's one of the first things that popped out at me, the Charlotte Tilbury Face Palette. This is her Nudegasm palette. I really got a lot of use and love out of this palette this year. I really enjoyed this bronzer shade more than anything. You can kind of see, if we get close, that I'm already like wearing off the little love indentation there. I just really did love this shade a whole hell of a lot. So I've really gotten a lot of use out of that this year. I went through a period where I really liked this glowish bronzer from Huda Beauty. And I still really enjoy it. It's not that I don't, but I would say that I found a couple of products that maybe I like just a little bit more. It looks a little green, doesn't it? It's not, I promise. It's just the lighting. But this is a really good, like, neutral type of bronzer. I got mine in the shade 01 Light. This here was the standout product this year for contour slash bronzer shade. The Charlotte Tilbury Contour Wand. I loved it so much that I already bought a backup, and I'm glad because look how much I've used. The fact that I've used this much of any one product should say a lot, because I got a lot of products. So that was definitely a standout. The Too Faced Natural Face Palette. I actually had bought one for my daughter. I got it from the BoxyCharm pop-up, and I loved hers so much that I bought my own. And I love it. I don't regret it. It's such a beautiful face palette. The Jaclyn Cosmetics Rouge Romance palettes, I absolutely love these. Actually, everything that you saw on my face in the beginning of this video is from this pile of products. At least most of it is. I'm wearing the blush from this palette. I think I'm wearing this one right here. I used the contour wand for my look. This bronzer here from Hourglass. I purchased this. I've tried other Hourglass bronzers before, and they've either been like too warm, too orangey, but this one's actually really, really nice. This is the one I'm wearing today. It's in the shade Diffused Bronze Light. I really love this one for my skin tone. This is the one single highlighter that I bought this year, the Anastasia Iced Out, and again, this is the one I'm wearing today. And I've gotten quite a bit of use out of it. You can tell by like the, well, maybe you can't tell. I can in person. I've gotten quite a bit of use out of it. I really like it. Not everybody does. Well, there's the 9 foundations that I acquired this year. Those Moira blushes. Like, look how beautiful those blushes are. In practicality, they're pretty bright. Like, I don't think I've worn them but maybe one time each. But I just love looking at them. Look at these. I don't know what you want to call those. They're not embossed. What is that called? They're so pretty. Like, look how beautiful these are. The Melt Honey Thief blush. This was really beautiful, or is really beautiful. The only thing is, it's a cream blush, so I don't wear it a lot. But when I do, I love it. This is the Macrotech Eye Crayon from Natasha Denona in maroon. I really liked that this year. There's just a lot of goodness. These eye pencils from Beauty Creations. I picked this up as a set. This is what I was telling you when I said I purchased like 12 eye pencils or whatever the hell I said. I had purchased those, these gel liners, and then all of these eye bases, these colored bases from Beauty Creations. They sold them as a set. I'll be honest, I've used the pencils a bunch. I don't think I've even touched the liners, and I don't think I've used these but maybe once. Isn't that a damn shame? Like, that's the kind of purchasing I need to watch out for. Like, it's good in theory, it was a good price, and I really enjoy the concept, but I'm just not creative enough to be playing with that kind of shit. This, yes, love the pencils, but this portion of it was probably a waste of my money. But nonetheless, I do have it if I want to be creative, and that's always how I look at it, so too late to be upset about it now, but there it is. I came across my signature scent this year. This is the YSL Mon Paris. They had a sale on their website where it was buy one, get one. So I bought one and got one. And it was a wonderful deal. And I love the scent. So happy about that. My all-time favorite Smashbox Oil and Shine Control Primer. I love it. I do like the Vitamin Glow Primer from Smashbox. It's just one that I can't wear all day long because it won't stay. But it is beautiful. I bought a big P. Louise eye base. I love that base. But yeah, those are some of my favorites. The Tarte Man-Eater Mascara. This like came out of left field this year. I don't know what the hell, but I love it. I love it so much. So much so that I bought myself an extra and then I bought my daughter one because she kept stealing mine. Any other standouts? Like, yeah, this, for the most part, like I've came across a lot of wonderful makeup products this year. The NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer is probably my all-time favorite concealer at the moment. It does not make my under eyes look crepey. I like mixing that and the Kosas Revealer Concealer. Perfect. Perfection. Beautiful. My Proper Beauty lipsticks, you guys know how much I love those. I love the Fenty Gloss Bomb Heat. Like this, yes, it'll set your lips on fire, but not in a sense to where it's like so uncomfortable you can't wear it. And I love how juicy it makes your lips look, or how juicy it makes my lips look. Is that it? Is that all I want to share? Let's go over a couple products that I was maybe not so impressed with. And I really don't have that many because, I don't know, like I really enjoy pretty much everything that you're seeing here. This bronzer by Say, or however you pronounce it, it just wasn't my absolute favorite tone. It was a little bit orangey on me, and it kind of like blends away, but that's just because I'm a full coverage queen, and yeah, that's a little bit more sheer. The Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Concealer, I don't know what was wrong with this, but it's super drying underneath the eyes. It's not my favorite. The Anastasia Beverly Hills Concealer is the same way. It's super heavy and drying. I don't know. Maybe I need to try it a different way because there's lots of people that love that one, but I ain't one of them. The Dose of Colors Concealer, same thing. Very drying. Not my favorite. I don't know why I keep buying the ColourPop Super Shock Shadows. They dry out so quickly, and then I hate them after they dry out. I usually don't even get a chance to use them. I don't think I even used this one. This one was in Sure Thing. Sure thing. You know, I thought I was really gonna love this. This is the P. Louise Acid Rain collection. It was like the collab between them and Mitchell. And it's just like, I don't know, this is supposed to be like their, not neutral shade because, you know, neutral's different for everybody. I thought this would be closest to my skin tone, but when it dries, it turns pretty orangey. It turns the same color as the MAC Pro Paint Pot in Painterly, and it's just a little bit too pink for my liking. But I'm still going to try to get some use out of it because I paid money for it. Anything else I feel like sharing? Let's go over to my single shadows real quick. I would like to do a dedicated video to my single shadows just because y'all know I love my single shadows and I don't want to, they need to have their own moment. Oh, forgot to show you this mammoth. Look at this freaking empty palette, would you? It is huge. So this is an Adept Cosmetics palette. I love this packaging. I didn't buy this year, but what's housed inside, I did purchase this year. I would say I probably owned about 20 of these, maybe. Well, I don't know if 20 or not. Somewhere in that ballpark before the start of this year. The rest I purchased this year, and I've got roughly like 50 some now. So that just kind of shows you my obsession with this type of shadow. But I freaking love them. This shade right here, Gloaming, is what I have on my inner corner right now. And it's just fucking special. Anyway, like I said, this is going to have their own special little moment, their own video, just because they're too special not to. But I'm just going to show you like a quick sneak peek. These are all my Terra Moon shades. Oh, I love Terra Moon so much. They might be my favorite, with Cleona at a close second. I can't help it. Love me some Terra Moons. Actually, I'm wearing this one here on the inner corner. This is the Cosmos. Like, what? Do you see that? Magical goodness. That's on the inner corner. And then I'm wearing this shade here in the middle portion of my lid. This one is Chasing Comets. So freaking stunning. And then on the outer portion of my lid, I'm actually wearing a shade from the Norvina palette. But yeah, love me some single shadows. These are the Adept and Lethal singles that I purchased. Well, some of them that I purchased this year. And up top, we've got Touch of Glam. You know what? Let's talk really quickly about something that I wasn't as hyped about when I got it, okay? And I'm not trying to be negative or nasty or disrespectful or anything like that. You see these 5 shadows right here, the little rectangular ones? Those ones I purchased off of Etsy from Becky Beauty. It's Bechy Beauty. And I bought them because on, I don't know, on the page that I was looking at on Instagram, they look, and even on Etsy, super shiny, sparkly, very multi-dimensional, kind of advertised like they were Terra Moon special or Cleona special. These aren't the worst shadows I've ever tried in the world. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I just feel like compared to what I thought I was getting, they're just not, I don't know. They're not what I thought I was getting. Like this here is called Accretion, and it was advertised as being very like sparkly and multi-dimensional. I don't know if you're looking, but it just looks like your everyday run-of-the-mill like green shimmer shadow, right? I don't know. And then this is just a very sparkly like white or shiny white. It's just nothing, it's nothing extraordinary, and that's kind of how they were marketed, like there was something super special about these. Now, I'm not trying to shit all over them. They are a, you know, an indie brand, a smaller creator created these, so that's just my thoughts on them. I just wish they were more like what I thought they were going to be like, more like the pictures. This one here from Tracy's Powder Room, however, oh my goodness. Like, look at this. I absolutely love this one. This is also from an Etsy brand. That I purchased this year, I believe. And then these were from Touch of Glam. This one here is super unique. See that? I gotta stop. It's got like this pink shift to it. Anyway, we're going to go through some of those in a future video, so I don't want to give away all the fun. And then all of those down here are from Glam Shop, and I purchased them over the summer. Super unique shades. We've got these really crazy, beautiful holographic shades. Can I get them to show? Like, look at that. Like, what? I didn't even know it was possible to get a holographic shade in an eyeshadow. And they're not glittery. Look how crazy. Isn't that beautiful? Like, wow. It's mesmerizing. But anyway, they've got some really beautiful shades in here too. So, as you can see, that's where my obsession was this year, was with the single shadows. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to go through and show you all like an overview of what my purchasing looked like for the year of 2021. Did I meet my low buy rules? Absolutely not. You know, I'm not happy about that. I did a terrible job. I'm really hoping that I do a better job in 2022, just because, again, this was pretty eye-opening, seeing all of this laid out in one spot. Just, I didn't realize I had purchased so much until I did this. Anyway, I hope you all found this at least a little bit interesting. Hopefully you all can laugh at me a little bit for being a complete clown this year. But yeah, I feel like this was really helpful for me to just kind of see everything in one spot, kind of see what my weaknesses really are. I think that's pretty clear. Sparkly, shiny, shifty, beautiful multi-chrome eyeshadows. But above and beyond that, I don't know. I think it's going to help me out in terms of reeling it in a little bit for next year's purchases, because when you're, even with the amount of stuff that I have sitting here, which is still a lot of products, I cannot possibly give enough love to everything sitting over here when this is just like, this is just what I have here. This isn't even what I already have sitting behind me that I purchased last year or the year prior. You know what I mean? I have a lot of good makeup products. I don't know why in my brain I feel like I constantly have to one-up myself and buy the next best thing. But I really am going to try, just like I said last year, to make a more concerted effort to reel it in, be a little bit more selective in what I'm purchasing. And when I'm being a freaking clown, y'all can tell me I'm being a clown. Michelle, you don't need that. What are you doing? I don't know. Let me know down below, what type of content would you like to see more of this year? Chatty Get Ready with me, Shop My Stash. Again, I'm going to really try to scale back on the new makeup purchases. So probably not going to be a whole lot of reviewing new makeup. Occasionally a palette, maybe some single shadows. That's my weakness. But other than that, I'm really going to try hard to scale it back, reel it in, focus on what I already have. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I think it's clear I found a lot of really awesome stuff this year. Not to mention, I did spend a lot of time this year focusing on what I already had. So I feel like if I hadn't done that, I would have had even more stuff sitting on this bed, which is just mind-boggling to even think about. There's just no excuse for it. This is a lot. So yeah. So that's going to wrap up this video of this little 2021 recap of my low buy fail, as well as showing you all what I did purchase for the year. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Not only does it let me know that you like this type of content from me, but it also lets YouTube know. So when you all do that, it'll push this video out there for more people to find, which means more people might make their way over to our wonderful community, and I am so grateful when you guys take the time to do that. If you're not already subscribed to my channel and you did enjoy this video, or you've been enjoying other videos, please hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you don't miss future uploads, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.